Hello. Oh,
Hey, whoops, we're falling over.
how's it going, everybody?
Hi, it's Clint and Mary here again. You fixing
I'm
something?
just trying to see if we can see the people joining. There we go. Cool. Well, happy Wednesday. Good evening. Hope you all are well. We are actually visiting some family, Mary's family.
Yep, and there's
My
another.
dog's trying to get out. But it's great to be with you. Last week we talked quite a bit about kind of our group and what we're about, and the fact that we believe that all families deserve to be happy. And this week we're going to talk about one facet of that. The particular physical health. I know in some of our other posts we've been focusing a lot on physical health and the importance of taking care of ourselves and making time for that. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
I think one of the things I think about with physical health is that it takes investment, right? It takes time and sacrifice to work on yourselves. I know one of the posts we did, we talked about the fact that as parents, we often feel like we have to sacrifice a lot to like care for our kids, and maybe we have busy work schedules and we want to run the kids around to things so they can have opportunities and experiences. We want them to have a better life than we had, right? So we make a lot of sacrifices. That's noble and that's important, and we've got to be willing to do that. I think it's also important to figure out how to do that and still take care of our physical health, because if you're not healthy, then you can't really do those things, right? You can't really care for your family. So
Right. I think the most obvious of that is physical exercise is just like getting out and moving your body for at least 30 minutes 3 times a week. I think is the minimum
right.
kind of requirement, but that's always been really important to me. I feel like that has given me just like the mental what's the word, just like being able to cope.
Clarity,
like
yeah.
just being able to, with all the kids, just having a few minutes of time to myself. And I've had to just get up early and go. So I go at 6, but I think the most important thing for me has been to find a friend to go, and that's what really gets me out. It's fun. It's more of a social thing than a working out thing, but we obviously work out too.
Yeah, and Mary and I go twice a week on a hike in the morning, like a sunrise hike, and does take a little bit of sacrifice of sleep, right? I think that when we think about making those investments, then and maybe the how, like by how do you like create a habit that where you're more likely to be successful, right? Having friends that will call you and say, hey, let's go do this.
Consistent time.
And being consistent, right?
That's helped me too.
And so we're not going to spend a ton of time more on like some of the things that could be done, and there's a lot of science behind this that we're not going to get into, but at a minimum, the body benefits greatly from getting out and doing things, right? Not only the mind, but the body, and there's a lot of science behind that. And so I guess our one encouragement, we'll have a few encouragements today or invitations, but one is definitely get outside and make, I guess there's exercise equipment in the house and things that you can do, but get active and be active regularly. I think Mary's great to say at least 3 times a week is really great and really helpful. And it models for the kids, right? It's a modeling thing for the kids so that they see, oh, my parents are active and they like to stay healthy and find ways to make that part of their lives.
And then when you tell the kids, get off your screens and go do something, like you have moral authority
right?
because you have gone out and done something. And especially where I've already, gone in the morning, or we've gone together in the morning, it's nice to say, you guys need to go do something, especially in the summer, which is so easy for them to just do some extra sitting.
For sure, yeah. So share in the comments things that you do to get out or get active and that's helped you, either the habits that you formed, how you have made it consistent, and also how the things that you've done, the tricks maybe you've learned to help yourself be more successful. That'd be cool to hear from you about that. This one example of like healthy living or physical wellness is, I think, a key foundation to figure out, because once you figure that out, that one thing out, it's like a basic need that our bodies need to stay feeling well, have our minds be clear. And I'm not going to talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but I think it's a model, maybe an imperfect model. I learned through my career that some models all models are imperfect, but some models are useful. And I think the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a useful model that helps us think about what are the basic things that we need to address, and those physical needs and what they call deficiency needs at the base of the triangle of the Maslow's hierarchy are really important, and physical health is one of those. Let's talk a little bit more about physical health. I mean, we talked about being active, but let's hit on a couple more things. I think diet and meals is critical, especially when you're a busy family. It takes some effort, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. I felt like, from the beginning of our marriage, that I was going to try really hard to make sure we had like whole wheat or, like whole grains, just because there's so many things that are processed, and that can kind of make you feel more, but also just helps your brain and the kids, especially growing kids' brains, just be so much better and feel better and have more energy.
Building healthy habits, again, modeling. I mean, I think one of the things that, because life can get busy and because it can be challenging to make meals for kids every day, one thing that's helped us, and I think I might have posted about this, one thing that's helped us is really having a meal calendar. And it's not an elaborate meal calendar, it's just like a kind of an outline. It's like we have the days of the week coming up, and every week we sit down with the kids after dinner while we're eating, and we say, like, what do we want to have this week? What's our menu look like? And that really helps us out as we prepare meals. Mary does most of the meals, but I really try to help. And
well, and we also have the kids, as they kind of get older, one of their chores for the day is to help with dinner. Because we realized as our kids have gotten older and one's already left the house, that we realized, I wonder if they know how to survive on their own. Yeah. So we decided, it might be important to have them start fixing food for the family more often, not just, throw a sandwich together, which they could all do, or make some nachos or something, but actually like make some soup from scratch, or make some from scratch things. So that's fun to be able to sit around the table as we're eating and pick the next week's meals, because they have a say in what we have.
Yeah,
and especially if they're the ones making it, it makes it easier.
And they get excited about it, yeah. It becomes less of like a performance, right? It's like, I think sometimes we feel as parents like, are they going to like this, and I'm trying to like perform for them. But if they're kind of part of the process, then it's kind of, it's their thing too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the third one that we want to share that is about kind of physical health is really around kind of rainy day preparation. It's like we talk about oftentimes in financial preparation or financial planning, you think about like saving for a rainy day. I think that's one element of being physically prepared, or having a wellness or a peace of mind about your physical ability to provide for yourself in times of like, emergency or COVID, or when the shelves aren't stocked in the grocery store, right? And so
we all remember, like when COVID first started, I'm sure it was the same for all of you, but we went to the grocery store when we knew that California was shutting down for what was supposed to be 2 weeks, and there was lines around the corner trying to get into the stores, and then you'd get into the stores and the shelves were just emptied. And I was really, really grateful that we've worked for a long time building up a basic supply of food. So I wasn't stressed. I was trying to get a few fresh items, but I wasn't stressed because we have a whole bunch of food that we've saved. Yeah. So, but I know that could have been a really, really stressful time, thinking, I have to feed my family for 2 weeks and there's nothing on the shelf, which actually turned into many months.
Yeah, and I think this isn't prepper stuff. Our channels or our group isn't going to be about being a prepper.
No.
But I think it's about being practical, right? And about thinking, even before we had the COVID pandemic, we were trying to like have this peace of mind about us and do some things that were simple and have a little bit of extra of this or that, or a couple extra boxes of spaghetti or cans of spaghetti sauce or whatever. And so if you like to learn more from what we've done with that, let us know. We can, either create like an infographic, or we can get on a messenger call and chat with you about it. But
we can also be posting kind of regularly about this, because we do feel like it's important for your peace of mind and overall happiness to have this. So we'll be sharing ideas of things that we've done, because it can be overwhelming to think about it and be like, well, how do I save so much food? Well, and also another reason it's important is, like, a couple of our family members, their families, they've been out of work.
Right.
And they went several months. Each family went kind of several months without money and without a job. But because because they'd saved so much food, they were able to get by on a lot less money and just kind of not have to go in debt as much as they were looking for another job. So there's a lot of reasons, not just
a lot of peace of mind when it comes to whatever things could come your way, right? And so those are the few things we wanted to share about physical health today, and we're gonna share a little bit more over the coming days, and we may end up going a few weeks on physical health because it's such a big topic, and then we'll get into some of the others. Last week I think we introduced some of the other facets of what we'll share about, and mental and emotional health, and intellectual development, and then spiritual wellness, which isn't, I don't think I mentioned this last week, but isn't specifically about religion, but more just about connecting with higher power and finding ways to be at peace with the world. So
finding moments of calm.
Yeah.
Like to just like a quiet, to kind of connect, like meditating and other things, because when you can do that, that does bring in a lot of clarity and peace.
So write in the comments too what you're most interested in, and we'll start sharing more about those things. But appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and best of luck searching and finding your happiness and the things that are going to help you and your family be the most happy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.